So this is what pisses me off about the state of affairs that we are currently face in Australia. So I'm going to pull up a very generic map of Australia, and I'll tell you why. So Australia as a whole, who's our national leader? Of course,
Albo.
Albo. Okay. So we're fucked with Albo, and let's go through each one by one to really hammer home the point that we're going to try to make here. So we got Albo. We got a fucked up national leader. All right. Now, who's the opposition to Albo? Peter Dutton.
Dutton. Yep.
We got a fucked up opposition in the national leader in Dutton. They're basically two in the same. All right. Back to the map. Northern Territory. Let's go with WA first. WA, you got Roger Cook, current premier. He's dealing with people grilling him about the vaccine with the what's the terminology that they're using? It's like the terminal. I can't remember the terminology, but it's like they're having like debates with him regarding the contamination of the vaccines. So he's up to the eyeballs with people trying to prosecute him. It seems like civilly, or at least debates with regards to how WA and Mark McGowan, an extension of him, and how they were treated.
And his defense is, I'm not McGowan. And he's on the phone to
Yeah.
McGowan all the time. What the hell have you left me here, bro? You've thrown me in the
Yeah.
deep end. Get back here. You answer for
Yeah.
this shit. Mate, you've done it. Why am I dealing with this? And he's like, you're the leader now, bro.
Yeah. And then you've got the fallout from that election where there's basically no opposition whatsoever. I've had to look up who's the opposition. Apparently it's this bloke, Shane Love. But I've seen in the news apparently what's that guy's name? The ex-AFL commentator from WA.
Basil.
Basil Zemplis. He wants to maybe have a crack at the leadership.
Yep.
So you've got that. So WA
is he the mayor of Perth at the moment or something as well, I believe. Yeah.
So WA is a shit show between opposition and current leadership. Northern Territory, I think the thing that I want to touch on with regards to Northern Territory, apparently there's a whole bunch of violent riots again going on there. I've seen people share videos of people going off, and apparently they want to bring back laws that they had earlier in the year, where they had like a lockdown as well. They had like a state of emergency lockdown.
Of course.
They banned them from accessing alcohol for a period of time.
They had a curfew.
Yeah.
Albo got on up there, remember, for 48 hours as well to try to do an outreach tour, and everyone was saying, but what are you doing, man? You're not on the streets at 10 o'clock at night when these little hoodlums are going crazy.
Yeah.
And
so
you're not coming to the very areas where you need to. And also another thing on the Northern Territory, man, next week, I believe they're going to start having marches through the city, opposed to domestic violence. So they're meant to be taking a stand, and it's going to be led by some Indigenous leaders or whatever that are out there saying, hey, listen, we've got to stop this violence against women. And it's like, well, hang on, dude. Are we actually going to address here who is overrepresented in the perpetration of this violence against women? And how are you going to address it out in some of these areas when it is embedded in those areas? It's a learned behavior, and it's absolutely atrocious. And they're like, we're talking about it happening in the suburbs. We're talking about sort of white women that are being assaulted. It's like, well, hang on a second. They're not even close to the majority of the victims here. And if we focus on who actually perpetrates the most amount of the crime, well, then that's racist. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how all that goes down. But, yeah, the Northern Territory, that's a different country. WA is a different country as well, man. Like, it's... They really are in that sense.
All right, so we got South Australia. So we got Peter Malinauskas, the one that created. See, I'm going to say that he was the public brainchild of the social media minimum age ban. But obviously, in fact, it wasn't really him. He's just sort of the mouthpiece for it. It's all his little fucking party, what do they call it? The friggin' like those thought. What do they call them? Oh, my brain is fried. It's like the little groups that they have. They come up with these stupid ideas.
For
Someone
their
tell me what I'm
little
talking about.
task force workshop groups or whatever they have in there.
Yeah, like these little thought bubbles that they have in the background that come up with these pieces of legislation. Yeah, like think tanks, that's the word. Thanks for that, man. Yeah, so these little think tanks that they have. He's just the face of it. There's the shadow cabinet behind them that actually come up and present these ideas, and tell them,
Yeah,
hey,
they don't write the legislation whatsoever, mate. They're
yeah,
presented with it in its final form, and they're told to sell it.
yeah. So you got Malinowskis in WA, and then like the problem that I have is like who's the opposition?
So, because what we've got, and this is to
No
cut to
one
the
knows
chase,
who
we're
the
still going to go through it.
oppositions are.
So we've got Labor, and
David
someone in the
Spears.
chat's like, "Hey, on that map, where's Tassie? Does Tassie even exist? Like, zoom out in the map, man. Like, come on, bro."
So apparently it's this bloke here, David Spears. So how old's he? He looks young. He looks like he's like 37 or something. So look, 39. Yeah, I was close. His birthday's in a few days. Yeah. So this young chap here is the leader of the opposition. I don't think I've ever seen this guy do one press conference ever.
No.
So that's the problem. If I
He
don't
could
know
be
who the
killing it
opposition
on
is,
social media. Yeah, he could be killing it on social media, or at least trying.
let's have a look. So David Spears, Twitter. Let's see if he has. Yeah, so he does have an account on X. It looks. Oh no, that's ABC David Spears.
Yeah. And he gets so much hate since he's left Sky, gone ABC. The ABC audience is always like, "Get him off the show." He hosts Outsiders on Sunday morning and stuff as well. They're like, "We hate this guy. Why is he asking these questions?" And they're like, "Well,
he
he's just being
doesn't.
objective."
He doesn't have an X account. He's only got a
No, an Insta.
called Insta, yeah, and probably Facebook. So he's got 10,000 followers, and it looks like it's more of a personal type
He's
thing.
a kilt wearer.
Yeah, I think it said that he's what, Scottish or something.
And he's a high vis dude as well, so he gets on out there. He's getting amongst it. He's getting amongst the people. But in reality, yeah, of course, he should be all over social media. We should know who he is, even if we don't want to know who he is, because he's just always out there going hard on socials.
Yeah. So he's not actually born in Australia. He's born in Scotland, UK.
There you go.
Yeah. So that'd
be so interesting to have an Australian politician like at a premier level who's got a really super thick Scottish accent, like a Billy Connolly style, full Braveheart style.
Someone goes, he probably has a Blue Sky account. Yeah, he looks like
that's
a Blue
another
Sky
thing as well.
person.
And is it a major cause for concern for you? And does it make you raise your eyebrows when we have sitting politicians who do not have X accounts? Like if they've just got an Insta or Facebook, you're like, come on, bro. They're not really in it, bro. They're not in it for the right reasons. It's a bit of a one-way street. On Insta, it's so placid. It's so rated G. They're not truly into it.
I really don't care what platforms they're on, because I know that I was the one, and I take full accountability for it, that I was the one solely responsible for bullying Jackie Lambie to delete her account, because of her comments about Elon Musk needing to go to jail for running Twitter in a certain way that she didn't like.
I remember, and she was on Kyle and Jackie O's show. Did you see when Jackie Lambie was on Kyle and Jackie O's show, and they had some dudes calling in because she was saying she's a single lady, and they had guys ringing in to talk about the size of their package, and then Jackie was going to decide who she wanted to date based on the size of their package.
So she's so cooked. So we've got Queensland next. So Queensland is coming out of the election with Stephen Miles, an absolute train wreck of a sort of a leftover premier.
The Sun's cooked him, bro. The Sun has cooked him.
Palaszczuk. And then you've got Chris Foley, who seems to have stabbed the backs of a lot of people at the moment. Now, I'm not big on the whole abortion debate, but one thing that I did read that he did do apparently today, I think it was today or yesterday, is that he's put a blanket ban on discussing and debating abortions in Queensland altogether. So he's gone and said, like, take the abortion subject matter out of it, just like with everything else. take the subject matter out of it. He's gone and done the most like backwards anti-democratic thing that you could do and say that we're going to have no debate on a subject because it upsets people.
Yeah, and what's also wild about that is when it was passed, when Palaszczuk was in government, they had a 3-minute standing ovation when they signed the legislation to say you can have it up until the point of birth without any questions.
Sky News have called him a full dictator. Full dictator. David Cruz fully slammed for banning abortion debate into Parliament.
Now, who's that appealing to? Is that appealing to his conservative base? Or is it appealing? He's trying to appeal across the aisle to radical leftists. He's meant to be conservative, bro. How can you take such a stance? So it's contrary to the very ideology in itself.
Liz Storer slammed Queensland Premier David Cruz fully for becoming a full dictator and banning debate on abortion in the state parliament for the next 4 years. Wow. So a blanket ban for the entire duration of his term. He turned dictator on us and decided to take the opportunity to tell everyone that he was banning from Parliament for the length of his premiership any discussion on the hot topic of abortion. This is a freedom of speech issue if there ever was one. And that's the thing. That's what really upsets me about this is that, again, take the subject matter out of it. I don't care if it fucking offends you or not. You're going to put a blanket ban for 4 years because that's as anti-democratic as it gets. So being called a dictator, that makes full sense. But that's the thing. The point that I want to get back to is that this country is so fucked with regards to its state of affairs with leadership at the moment. Let's go down to New South Wales.
Yeah.
Next, New South Wales. So we've touched on New South Wales a lot over the last little bit. So you've got current Premier Chris Minns. He's saying that we're
multicultural, so we can't have freedom of speach.
We can't have freedom of speech, and we need to impede on your freedom of speech because we want to protect the decades of building a multicultural society, civil society in New South Wales. So we're screwed with regards to Chris Minns. Again, can someone tell me who the fuck is the opposition leader? Mark Speakman. Okay, so this dude here, I think he was like the police minister or something, minister for the environment, something to do with police as well. I bet you if I type in police, something will come up.
Minister for the prevention of domestic violence, it said there as well. So that was one portfolio.
Maybe I'm mistaking him for someone else, but yeah, Mark Speakman. I can't remember the last time I saw this guy doing a press conference. You know what I mean?
He's not living up to his name. Speak man.
Yeah.
Speak man.
Dude,
he's not even speaking man.
Yeah. The photo that they've used is him holding a mic.
It's a golden mic as well, bro.
But you know what I mean? We have no opposition. If I don't know who the opposition is, there's a problem. I watch
because you're paying attention every day. Exactly.
I watch every press conference. I watch every bloody piece of news coverage that's available to me. I don't know who all these guys are, and it's funny how I don't know.
There's a political strategy there. There's a political strategy with them not being outspoken, with them deliberately flying under the radar. Remember, Kamala Harris tried to do the same thing.
Yeah.
She was announcing for the first 100 days, she actually doesn't do anything publicly because they know that she can't perform publicly, and they know she can't stand up to scrutiny. Yeah. And they know she'll actually have to speak about some things she wishes to do. So they wait till 30 days out, then platform her. And by then it's over.
Yeah.